Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a wild story about how one unpaid salary, just one, can set off a chain reaction so big it destroys an entire bank. And it all started with a single, careless word. I mean, how can that even happen? Sounds totally impossible, doesn't it? Well, this explainer is all about the story of the People Nogger Bank, and it shows us exactly how one little grumble can explode into a massive citywide panic, one conversation at a time. All right, so let's set the scene. Our story doesn't kick off with some big, elaborate conspiracy. Nope, it all starts with something way simpler: frustration. We've got Nathu. He's a sweeper boy at the People Nogger Bank. He's just doing his job, sweeping the steps, but he's getting pretty fed up because, well, he hasn't been paid. And his patience, it's just about gone. So while he's grumbling, Sitaram, the washerman's son, happens to walk by, and Nathu just lets it all out. He complains that a bank, of all places, is holding up a poor guy's salary. I mean, can you believe it? He tells Sitaram, as soon as I get my money, I'm out of here. Now, this is just a simple, factual complaint, right? But what he doesn't know is that this little comment is about to take on a life of its very own. And here we go. This is where it all starts to go wrong. You know that game of telephone? Well, that's exactly what's about to happen. This genuine complaint, this little spark, is going to get passed from person to person. And with each jump, the story gets twisted, it gets warped, until it just explodes into total panic. So let's break down how it went down. Okay, first link in the chain, Sitaram. And you know, he's just trying to be helpful here. His customer, a Mrs. Srivastava, happens to mention she's looking for a sweeper. So Sitaram says, hey, I know a guy, and tells her about Nathu. At this point, everything is still pretty much on the level. The info is accurate, a sweeper boy isn't getting paid, he wants to quit. Simple enough, right? But then Mrs. Srivastava bumps into her friend at the market, and this is where the story takes its first real turn. That very specific detail about one single sweeper boy, it gets generalized. All of a sudden, it's not just about Nathu anymore. The story is now that the bank can't pay its employees. Plural. It's a tiny change, but man, is it a big one. And the rumor keeps on jumping. Next up, Mrs. Bhushan finds her husband. And she, in her own kind of dramatic way, connects the dots. Wait a minute, she must be thinking, if a bank can't pay its people, what does that mean? The only logical conclusion for her? The bank must be going under. So she just comes right out and says it. The bank's about to go bankrupt. And just like that, a simple complaint has morphed into a full-blown prophecy of doom. Now, this little bombshell is overheard by Kamal Kishore, who owns the photo shop. What does he do? He runs and tells his neighbor, who's a barber, and bam, it's done. It's not a rumor anymore, not just gossip. It's being passed around as the latest news, like a hard fact, something you need to act on and fast. And from that barber shop, it's like a wildfire. The news just explodes. A customer who's literally in the chair getting a shave hears it, and he's so shocked he gets nicked by the razor. He dashes out, finds a phone, and starts telling people. The bank's owner has skipped town. From there, it just flies through the marketplace. To the merchant, the tailor, the jeweler, even to the beggars sitting on the street. The whole town is just buzzing with this news. And since there's no official word, no facts to go on, people just start making stuff up to fill the silence. The owner, Seth Govind Ram, who, by the way, is just chilling on a holiday in Kashmir, totally clueless, he becomes this legendary figure. People are saying he's fled the state. No, wait, he's fled the country. Oh, actually, he's hiding right here in Pipalnagar. And then there's the darkest one, that he hanged himself from a tamarind tree. It's just completely out of control. So at this point, the panic isn't just talk anymore. It's all about action. And get this, there's this beggar, Gunput. He has a crooked leg, and for years he's just been sitting on the pavement. Nobody's ever seen him walk. But when he hears the news about the bank, he absolutely stuns everyone. He leaps to his feet and starts running. So why the sudden miracle? It's because he has 1,000 rupees saved in that bank. That's his entire life savings. And this is the real turning point. This is when the rumor stops being some abstract piece of gossip. It's now a direct threat to real people, to their life savings. And that fear is what triggers this desperate, frantic rush to get their money out. And boom, a classic bank run. The place is just flooded with people, a huge crowd all screaming for their money, all at the same time. The poor manager is totally overwhelmed. He's trying to calm everyone down, but he burns through all the ready cash in no time. And he can't get emergency funds. He can't even reach the owner who's off on his houseboat vacation. So when the manager tells them, hey, come back tomorrow, their fear just curdles into pure rage. The crowd isn't going anywhere. Their chants get louder, more aggressive. And to make things even worse, you've got mischief makers jumping in. People who don't even have an account at the bank. They're just there for the chaos. And this is it. The breaking point. The shouting and panic turn into actual physical violence. A brick comes flying through the air and smashes right through the plate glass window of the bank. And there you have it. The rumor that started with a sweeper boy and his late pay has now, quite literally, broken the bank. So fast forward to the next morning. Nathu, our sweeper boy, the one who unknowingly kicked this whole thing off, shows up for work. He sees the shattered glass, rocks everywhere, a total mess on the steps, and he has absolutely no clue what went down. And his reaction? He's not scared or confused. He's just annoyed. He's completely oblivious, has no idea that his little complaint was the spark that started this massive fire. To him, this is just another headache. Great, he thinks, not only am I getting paid late, but now I've got all this extra work to do. Then Sitaram comes by on his bike and tells him, hey, the bank's got out of business. So Nathu just sits down on the steps, still waiting for his paycheck, muttering to himself, who would have thought the bank would collapse? I wonder how it could have happened. And that's the final perfect irony, isn't it? The one person who started this whole mess is the only one left scratching his head, wondering how it all began. It really makes you think about the incredible, and sometimes incredibly destructive, power of our words.